Okay. So, how are you? How's it been going? What's been going on in your life this whole week?
I'm doing well. I don't know. Do you have any things, any screenshots you wanted to discuss
Well,
or
something did come up in my comment section, and I didn't have enough time to answer the comment, but I can answer it now. It's a video I just put out, I think it was yesterday.
Mhm.
And I mean, you could, I don't know. So, I had someone ask me, and I don't want to say their name because, I don't know if they want that to be private, but she said, but before I get started, for those of you that would like to join the Zoom with with us, just feel free to send me your email, and I'll leave a link to my email so that you can send it to me, and I will. We do this every Sunday at 1 o'clock. So just send me your email, and when we do the Zoom, I will add you.
and we
Okay.
do it at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time
There you go.
because some people might be in another
Exactly.
country.
Exactly. I forgot about that. So anyway, so this is what this lady had asked me. She said, "How about the Kundalini awakening?" She was like, "Is it a coincidence?"
Wow, that's an interesting. Is it a coincidence?
Yeah.
Um, so that's what it felt like for me, even though I was on the
Mhm.
spiritual path, right?
Yeah.
When the Kundalini awakening happened for me, it just happened out of nowhere. Like it just completely just happened out of nowhere. But my twin flame was near. Like the day before,
Yeah.
I haven't heard of my twin flame for a year.
Yeah.
And the day before I was hiking and my friend said, "Oh, you know,
Yeah.
she didn't say your twin flame, but he's gonna come hiking." And my body like got so scared or whatever. And the next day I had a Kundalini awakening. So
Yeah.
I felt like part of my Kundalini came from my twin. But
Mm.
then like now when I look at everything, it was all bullshit. Right? It was all like didn't make sense. Like it didn't even happen. But speaking of the story and the illusion, I feel like my twin flame activated my Kundalini awakening. But that's how
Right.
my story, I guess, my illusion.
It's all in the story. In the story, it's very real.
Yeah.
And there is a Kundalini awakening. There's chakras. There's clearing chakras. I don't know. I feel like when I was reaching and seeking out, I would go to Reiki healers and shamans, whatever you want to call it, and get all my chakras cleared.
Yeah.
But now I've become so sober to everything
Right.
that, what to me, there's no such thing as Kundalini and chakras. Like it's
Yeah.
just made up. It's made up. It's not a coincidence. Coincidence is even made up.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's all labels and concepts, whatever you want to call it. But to me, um, a person will go to Reiki healing to heal something. And the thing here is you're not healing anything because when you're when you're trying to heal one emotion, another emotion arises shortly after that. So then you're trying to catch up and heal that emotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just what do you call it? A revolving door. You're not
So
doing anything, but in the story, apparently you feel like you're doing something, and it's very real to the person, you know?
yeah, I totally get it because like when like for me, it's like there is no body, there's no planet, there's no soul, there's no healing, right? Because you
Mhm.
get it non-duality, all that just disappears. But when
Yeah.
I was in the illusion, that's what happened, right? Like, so the story happened, but it wasn't real because nothing's real. So there is no chakras, there is no body, there's no soul,
Yep.
there's none of it, right? But in the illusion, I thought I was healing things, but all of that is not real. It's all a story. All the
Yeah.
healing and having to get somewhere and chakras and my
Yeah.
heart chakra opened and blah. Your heart's not even real. Like, so it's,
Yeah. We don't know what it is. We don't know what anything is really.
yeah,
Apparently, like things are happening in the story, okay? Apparently it's all happening, but we don't know what the fuck that is. We don't know what anything is. We don't know. I mean, all we know is what we were programmed to believe is true, what we were taught and told. And
yeah,
you know, we were taught from our parents, and they were taught from their parents, and then they were taught, and it just from generation to generation in the story, from generation to generation, it becomes this repeated cycle,
yeah.
you know, that
It's
in
story after
it's a
story
story,
after
yeah.
story. So Kundalini is a story, right?
It's a
Uh,
story.
it's a story. Spiritual awakening is a story.
Yeah.
Spirituality is a story. Religion is a story. It's all a story. We're a story. It's a story. This is a story.
Yep.
That's a story. All of it is a story. All of it is an illusion. And there's really nothing really happening.
Yes.
And we have no idea what's happening. And it's
Hmm.
just happening. And there is no coincidence because it's just happening.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like when I was in the story, it felt like it was a coincidence. It felt like it just happened, right?
Yeah.
That's just the story I have, right? Like that's just it was a story. That's all it is.
In the story, everything seems to be a coincidence, or there has to be a meaning behind something constantly. You know, I was talking to one of my girlfriends. I don't want to say her name because, you know, I want to respect that, but we did have a long conversation. And she was telling me now that how she goes to get Reiki healing, and how she's become to where she's at this Zen. Okay. And that all sounds so wonderful because I remember having to do all of that. I loved doing all of that. And I actually said that to her. I was like, wow, yeah. I'm gonna read to you what I said. I said, wow, yeah, I remember doing all of that. I said Reiki healing and meditation. I even remember seeing a shaman healer at one time. I've come so far since then. I've come to a place where I don't need all that stuff. I'm okay now with life being life. I now feel everything at once, every emotion, and I just flow with it. I said anger, sadness, happiness. I said where before I would do anything to not feel it. I just wanted that Zen feeling. So I would find myself doing meditation, any sort of healing. Now I know that those emotions are all natural and organic. And it doesn't matter what type of tool I use to get rid of it. There will always be another emotion that will arise shortly after that. It's like a dog chasing its tail. Really, you're not healing anything. Just when you think you're healing one emotion, another emotion will arise. It's like a dangling carrot. It's a total fucking free fall. Really, I said, at least that's how I see my life now. Whatever happens, happens. And it's really no big deal to me anymore. Where before I would have to meditate or say a mantra or an affirmation to feel better. Life is so different for me now. So much has changed. I now feel everything. It's life full on for me. There's this realization that anything can happen. I used to believe that if I got my chakras cleared, that I would be okay. Now I know that that's just bullshit. There's nothing that a person can do to completely be okay. That's just not how life is. There will always be a dark moment, just as much as there will be a light moment. To be quite honest with you, I don't even think there's such thing as chakras at all. Just a bunch of mumbo jumbo to keep a person stuck in this vicious cycle, thinking that they can get out of the feeling of something. That's a lot. I
That
know.
that
That is a
was
lot.
that was like so perfect. Like that was the most beautiful message in the world. Like
Yeah.
now, now we just feel everything. And everything is
Everything.
okay. The bullshit is okay. The pain is okay. The heartbreak is okay. The the bad feeling is okay. The good feeling is okay. Everything is okay.
Yeah.
And all you're doing when you're I did the same thing. I went to clear my chakras. I did spiritual healing. I was in the mountains every single day, like in
Yeah.
nature, taking off my shoes, stepping on the grass, grounding. I did it all. I mean, you have to go through it all to realize, because you're always thinking you're gonna get out of something. You always think that you're gonna get out of it, but reality, there's no escape. There's, but you know what? I have something to tell you.
Okay.
I was talking to someone about this, and I didn't know how to answer them back. So I was telling them there's no escape. There's no, it is what it is. But they told me, you know what? You were a different person back then, and now you're different. So how how could you say that there's no healing when you look like you've healed? And I'm wondering what you have to say about that. Because for me, when someone says that to me, I can't explain to them, you know what? I was an illusion. Now I'm out of the illusion. And that never really happened. But they're saying from the outside, it looks like you've let go of all of this crap that you were holding on to. And now, like, they look at me saying, I look healed. So, like, like,
Woke up. You woke up. Um, but the thing is it's just what's happening. There's no explanation to why you're where you're at right now, but in the story, you woke up and you're no longer seeing things like you used to see them. I mean, everything is nothing. You woke up. You woke up. And like there
I
is really
just,
no rhyme or reason. I don't even know. I don't even know. Like you're right. You don't know how to answer that question because there is no sorry. Call you back. Yeah, there is no rhyme or reason.
yeah, yeah. And
They
it's
they
just so
have to know.
difficult to explain to people that, you know, so I woke up. Like, how do you say that? Like, I woke up. I mean, yeah, the spiritual
Yeah.
world, you could say that to them, but just an average, normal person, I don't even know if they know what that means. So
All you can say is, I don't know. I
yeah,
really don't know
yeah, because
because
we don't know,
there
because
is
we
no
don't know.
knowing. Yeah,
Yeah,
there is no knowing at all.
it's
Uh,
just, I don't know. I don't know. There's been a lot of things on my mind, but you're like about what happens after you wake up and how you kind of love differently, and you're just different. You're just different as a person, like less insecurities and less control and less, actually, not like, all of it kind of goes out the door. Like you're just like this raw, vulnerable, um accepting kind of being now. And it's just so different than when you're not awake. When you're awake, you want to change whatever you have. I mean, when you're not awake, you want to change the feeling, what's happening to you, how life is going. You're not content. There's a lot of, I mean, not for everybody, but there's this sense of change that you don't want this. And then when you
mhm.
are awake, everything is like just accepted, and you just live in a free space of being yourself,
Mhm.
be letting people be,
Mhm.
and just loving from a different place. Like, I don't know. That's what I've been experiencing lately. Like, it's just different. I know that it's just so much different to be awake than not awake, because it feels so much better. just feel so much better.
I think with me, in the story, everything still comes up. Like I still have my insecurities. I still get very angry. I still get very sad, mad. I even
Yes.
love more now, deeper than I've ever have. Like my emotions are this really just full on and they come up. Insecurities come up. You know, it's more like you said, it's more raw and in your face now. And it's now, it's like I just deal with it more so, where before I would be like, oh, fuck, why am I feeling like this? And I want to like go talk to a therapist, or I'd want to go look it up somewhere and find out what it is I can do, or I'd go and get some type of healing done, you
Right.
know, go to church or become spiritual, whatever, you know. But now there's no more seeking. I no longer seek out what's going on with me. I feel every fucking emotion that comes up, and it's so like in your face. It's a fucking free
Oh,
fall. It's a free fall.
it is crazy. So I'm, my twin flame never came back, right?
Yeah.
So I'm dating this new guy. And in my past relationships, if I didn't like what someone said
Yeah.
or something like that, I would like stuff it inside or
Uh-huh.
like bring it up to them like 3 weeks later. Like, as a woman, I don't know, I'll just blow up on him like 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I can't do that anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm just in his face, like, oh, that hurt, or that didn't feel good, or, that just made me feel like, and it's just like, I'm watching myself because I, I basically feel everything for myself. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't lie. I can't lie to another and be like, no, I'm fine. I'm not mad. Like I would do that before. No, I sit there and I say, I'm upset right now. And it's like, what? Like, it's like a whole nother world. Like you're so authentic with yourself and you
Mm-hmm.
accept all your emotions that if you're close to someone, you have to like have the same, it's just bubbling out. And it's just such a different experience from my past relationships. Like I see, this is just, it's crazy. It's different. It's so different to just feel a feeling and be able to express it to a man right away,
Mm-hmm.
instead of holding it in, holding grudges, having resent. None of that gets to be piled in anymore. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just different. I don't know. I thought that was something that was significantly different after I woke up. Like, absolutely. I don't know. I like it.
Well, now that I've started dating again, when I'm not, just getting myself out there and allowing myself to date, and different guys that I've, you know, went on dates or whatever, or just getting to know, whatever. I still have those insecurities that come up. I still have, and nothing has changed about me. But the thing is I'm more like dealing with it now, where before I didn't want to deal with it and I wanted to find reason and get help for what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? I always was really hard on, even being hard on myself is okay because that's what's happening and it's very organic and it's
Yeah.
real. So now it's like like I'm still Shannon. Like there's nothing that has changed about me. It's just now that I'm just dealing with it more so now, where before I was in denial. I was just
But that just
afraid to
shows
feel
you.
anything. I was afraid to feel anything. I would come off as this strong woman so that no one could see that I was vulnerable like that. And but now I allow myself just to
Be
be
vulnerable.
vulnerable and deal with my emotions when they are coming up. I'm no longer like what you would say in the story, running from them. It is what it is now, you know.
But see, like how it happens differently. Like your awakening was different than my awakening. I'm a completely different person now.
Mhm.
I'm still the same, super emotional. I was very high, big personality. Um,
Yeah.
but I just I'm not afraid to speak my mind. Before I was
Oh, that
afraid.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was, if I would be afraid to say that I'm hurt to somebody,
Yeah.
or to, and I just like stand up for myself, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have insecurities, of course, but they're not going to take over. See, for me, I completely changed. But I don't think you were bad off before awakening. I was fucked up. You know, I was a
Well, with
fucking
me, I
mess.
feel everything. Like if I'm angry, you're gonna see it. Like you
Yeah.
said, you'll tell somebody off in a minute. Now it's like I don't hold back. And if I'm sad, you're gonna fucking see that because I don't hold back anymore. And if I'm happy, you're gonna see I'm very happy. You know what I mean? I feel every ounce of my emotions. It doesn't matter what it is. And yeah, maybe that is a bit of a change with me, but or maybe I'm more so myself now in the story than I ever was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm feeling everything and I'm allowing. I don't think I ever lost myself. I just wasn't allowing myself to be. No, no, no. Sorry, my grandbaby. She's trying to touch the keypads. But
She's so
yeah,
cute. Yeah,
you know,
no. No, I understand. Like for me, I was messed up, like super depressed, and had depression and anxiety and a lot of, I was a mess. I was suffering so much.
yeah,
And then now it's just, it's not that I'm never going to suffer. Of course I'm going to have pain. I feel everything 10 times more. But the thing is that there is this rawness that, okay, let's say I said something to someone and I say, shit, you know, I shouldn't have said that. It now it's just like, that's what was supposed to happen. There's less like regret, less, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's what happened because that's what's happening, you know, like,
yeah,
so you're like living in this space of what's happening and what's happening and what's happening, that there's less time to be like, oh, you know, maybe if I did it this way, you know, less of that stuff, which is so free. It's
yeah.
so,
It's freedom. It's liberation.
yeah,
There's no more questioning why I did this and why did that happen like that. It fucking happened. There's no explanation why things do happen, you know? And I'm not saying, that may not come up, me saying, well, God, why did that just happen? But, I don't
even
go
that,
look.
even,
Yeah, I don't go looking it up though, or I don't go to somebody else and trying to get advice from them anymore. Like, or I used to like constantly want somebody to give me answers to something that was
right?
going on with me. Now I'm just like, oh God, why did I just do that? Or why did, but it's just, there's no more seeking out,
Yeah,
basically. The
there's no
seeker
more,
is no longer here.
there's no more seeking out in so many ways. You know, it's like
Right.
you trust this being, you trust,
Mhm.
you know, I don't even know if that's even the word trust. It's just, it is all, the only way I can explain it is it is what it is.
I'm sorry.
Bless you. Oh, you're
Yeah,
choking.
I was going to say it went down the wrong pipe, but it don't sound too good.
No, but it's just like a constant is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like you're just keep being, it's like you're fully present, you know, right? Like on a minute by minute basis, even at the worst times, you know, and it's, I don't know, it's less of a headache living life.
And that word present, my friend, the one I was just talking about, she had brought up like, I just live in the present moment now. And I'm thinking, well, God, you can't actually, there's no living in the present because energy is constantly arising. So you're always catching up. Like there's no living in the moment anymore. Like that's not that. I don't know what that is. I really don't
Yeah,
know what that is
because
because it's so spontaneous.
so we woke up, so we're just
Yeah.
always in that. But what she's saying is that she's trying to get there. There's nowhere to get. It's
I've
here.
seen that. Her talking, she's saying, like, she said, but then she goes back to spirituality. But I'm starting to see she actually wants to join the Zoom. She actually does. Um,
Really?
yeah, but I'm so afraid that me and you might just.
She's gonna be like, this is too much. This is too much. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it's gonna be
I'm
like,
afraid. I'm afraid to scare people off.
I don't want
So
to scare her off, but it's gonna be that way because she's still kind of in that spiritual way, you know. So, but I think I'm gonna gradually kind of bring her into it because she's open to it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know, whoever's ready to join and
yes,
talk about this, because I mean, when it was happening to me, it was super devastating. And I needed support, you know. I'm
right.
obviously so much better now, but when it was happening, like when got out of spirituality, I call it, I got out of spirituality, I fell into non-duality, and it was over. Like all my beliefs were just caught. Like,
I
I mean, and
remember. I remember you. I remember when we first met. You were still at that stage. See, you at least you had me to talk to. I had no one because it was like when me and you first started talking. I saw it with you. At first, you were like um, very hard on yourself about being uncompromising. You were
mhm.
like everything was, but that's just the story, and you were really like, and I was seeing myself because I was there too, and I was like, oh gosh, she's coming out of it. Like it was, I watched it happen to you, and I was like,
I
girl, one
know.
day you're just gonna wake up and you're not even gonna remember, and
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah. Like, and I was like, what do you mean? How could I not remember waking up? And I was so thankful to have you, because I was losing it, girl. I was losing it. I had to let go of my twin. I had to let go of spirituality. I was religious since the day I was born. I had some heavy religious, spiritual stories. My twin flame, I was super in love. It was the craziest connection. And suddenly it was like, bye, you know, all that is not real.
No,
Nothing is real. I was like, what's the wall? I don't, it was insane. And if I didn't have you, I would have lost my mind. I would have
like you
lost my
don't
mind.
even do it anymore. You're not like really super uncompromising anymore. Like you were at first.
I'm
Now you're
like,
just like fuck it. You like you don't even. It's like
I,
you realize now, like everything is a story and it's whatever.
yeah, I can't even, actually being uncompromising is kind of weirder now sometimes,
It is
you
because it
know?
feels like entrapment. It feels like you're trying so hard to fit in a box because you're being super uncompromising. But once that realization happens, it's like there's no more fitting in a box. It's just whatever,
Because you're in the illusion, you can't get out of it. There's
right?
no escape. There's no death. Even if you died, you're not escaping this place. It's not happening.
Right,
So you're here, even though you know it's not real, right? You look at the sky. I look at the sky. I'm like, I know there's no planet. I know there's no sky. It's like a cartoon. But at the same time, I'm still here in this cartoon. We're
right.
still we're still here. And uncompromising feels like a box, like a limitation, you know?
And that's not even there for me. Like I used to see things like when I looked at trees and skies, everything just kind of was really in my face. Um, sorry, it's not letting me. Did it turn on? Can you see me still? It
Yeah.
kind of it stopped.
Stop recording.
Yeah, we're at we reached our well, I don't know if we reached our limit, but for some reason I can't, you know why? I'm trying to tap on it like it's a phone.
It still says it's recording.
Yeah, it's recording still. It's we're almost out of time, but I do want to put that out there again. Like for those that would like to join the Zoom, make sure I will leave my the link to my email in the description. Email me your email me, and then we'll go. I'll
Invite you.
I'll invite you for our next Zoom, which will be at 1 o'clock next week.
Yes. Yeah, and you know, we're open to speak about spirituality. We're open to speak about non-duality, twin flames,
Yes.
everything. I had a divine partner. Whatever you want to speak about, we are we're open and ready and here to support, because God knows I needed it when I was going through it. Oh God, but
Yeah, this is a safe space for all of us just to sit and talk about everything. So most definitely in the link below, we'll have my email there. Just come to my email and I'll, invite you for our next Zoom. But we can still keep talking though. until it ends.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what
Does
anything
it
else
say
on
it's
your
still
mind.
recording? Yeah, it's still recording. So
Anything
I did come
else?
across something, and this is to do with twin flames. We'll go out with a bang. It says just just wondering how many twin flames here have reached physical union and are still with their counterpart. I don't even know what union is, and there's no such thing. It's just a regular connection, but the thing is there's just that extra shit. It's different than what you're used to, but there is no such thing as union.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
There's
how
no
could
getting
you,
to, yeah,
how do you unite? Okay, so how do you unite with something that's, we're all this, we're all just energy. How do you unite with, we're all like one big blob of energy, you know? So there is no union. There's no soul. There's no other half soul. There's no, oh, you're a part of me. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist, you
right.
know? And it's, I don't know how to say this. It's again, it's about seeking. You're
Seeking.
seeking something outside of this. And there's nothing outside. It's all here. You can't
We
get,
don't even know what it is. We don't even know what it is. And there is no twin flame. That's just made up. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. It's like a person will do everything they can to be with their twin when their life is just passing because they're wasting all their energy in that one person who doesn't fucking want to be with them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like
And
a big deal.
we're the only people on the internet in this world, I think, that are talking about this. And I know it's
Right.
devastating. When I heard this message, I almost died. The crying scene that happened, because I thought I was going to be in union with my twin. I thought, you know, I kept on healing and healing and healing. And the more healing I did, the how I was going to get there. And it was completely just pulled from under me. So I have a lot of compassion for anybody that's listening here. I know
Yeah.
mine was very, very hard. But the truth is, it's like some sort of fantasy that they're going to come back
Right. It's like
and
a
be,
fairy tale. It's a big fairy tale. They're trying to live out this fairy tale, but there's no such thing as a fairy tale. There's no such thing as anything. You just move on. And yeah, it may be in the story that it's hard to shake that person. And yeah, okay, it is what it is, but in time it will stop when it stops. It will end when it ends. Obsession will end when it ends, not being able to shake them, whatever. There's no control over something happening,
yeah. So if they're
you
obsessing
know?
over them, they're obsessing over them. And if they're not obsessing, they're not obsessing. And that's why this
Yeah.
forum, me and you, this space that we carry for people is to be completely who you are. Like if you're still after them and thinking you're gonna have union, then that's
What's
what's
happening?
happening,
Yes. It
right?
says if your physical twin flame is in a karmic relationship or has a karmic addiction, it means that you have a karmic within you. Within you, you are unconscious, right? You have a pattern of hurting yourself and are not remembering God in these moments.
It's all a story and all about inner child and oh, this person's a reflection of me because I'm karmic inside, so he's present. No, 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 no. That's not true. How is that possible? Like it's not true. It people are the way they are for the way they are. It's not, there's no time and space and what is it? What is that word called? Um
Well,
I
another person being is another. Just because that person is being who they are. Sorry, my grandbaby's getting everything. Just because that person is doesn't whatever their karmic. There's no such thing as a karmic. Have nothing to do with you having something fucked up about you. It's like because they don't want to be with you or whatever, it means that you got some healing to do. It's ridiculous.
yeah, and I fell into that story. I was like, I need to heal so I can be with my twin because I'm the one that, you know, is attracting this. But you know what? People are pieces of shit and they are pieces of shit. It doesn't mean
It's
I'm a piece of shit. You know, like it is what it is. If someone's being an asshole, they're an asshole. I can't just
Yeah.
keep, I can't keep working on myself. And that's the thing. When I got out of non-duality, when I woke up, you know, the people that were assholes were still assholes, right? Like
Yeah.
the people that I was like, oh, I'm attracting this, and oh, this person is treating me this way because of my inner child. No, they're still assholes.
Right. It has
They're
nothing to
still,
do with, it's nothing to do with how you're acting, what's going on with you that makes them act that way. God, that's an
that's,
abusive mindset.
yes, 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 girl. You just, honestly, spirituality is abusive.
Oh, it's terrible when you
No,
think
no, no,
about it.
because you keep blaming yourself constantly. I need to change. You're so hard on yourself. You're blaming yourself. You're saying, I, my twin flame doesn't want me because, shut, no, man, no, just,
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, like what about the self-respect and self-honor you need to have for yourself? Or stop chasing something that doesn't want you. Stop chasing, you know, all of that is just like your codependency, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you wake up and you're like, well, he's being an asshole because he's an asshole, and it's not, has nothing to do with me. There's no reflection here. And that's how life is. So there's things that happen. We don't know why. We don't know why they happen. I can't say it's
Oh,
because of me, you know?
right. Here's
Yeah.
another one I've got. It says, any lessons you refuse to learn will repeat until you do. Holy shit. Like you're trying to learn one lesson, like one emotion that's coming. Like I just said, when one emotion is coming up, you're sitting there fixated on that. But then right after that, another one's just going to pop up, and then you're going to be fixated on that emotion. It's like you're not getting anywhere. There's nothing that you're learning here. You think
You're
you're
not,
learning,
you're not getting anywhere because
right?
there's nowhere to go. There's no escape. There's no escape. What I mean by no escape, there's no, you can't get out of what is happening. I don't give a shit if it's the worst possible thing that's happening to you. You're not going to get out of it. So just
Exactly.
as soon as that seeking stops, right? And that's going to happen naturally. But that seeking is what the difference is, you know, because you're not
Uh-huh.
going to get out of it. You're not going to get out of that motion. You're not going to go into union. You're not, maybe you will. I don't know. I've seen
Oh
twins be,
yeah, they do. They do come to, well, I'm a front here, but they do come back, but then there's some that don't really. I mean, it's just it's
mine never came back.
yeah.
Mine never came back. And I don't feel I ever want to see them. And if you asked me 6 months ago, I would have told you I love him so much that I would like probably kill myself